If you're dreaming of that cruiser lifestyle but don't want to drop $25,000 on a Harley, you're not alone. Japanese brands are quietly building machines with classic V twin sole, better reliability, and smoother performance at half the price. And the last one will shock you. Number 7. Honda Rebel 1100. If you're looking for a modern cruiser with serious performance chops that won't empty your wallet, the Honda Rebel 1100 should be at the top of your list. It delivers classic cruiser charm fused with modern engineering, aggressive styling, and a ride feel that's miles ahead of what most expect from a Japanese cruiser. While Harley-Davidson continues to bank on old-school thunder, traditional design, and high pricing, Honda has refined that blueprint and made it smarter, smoother, more efficient, and cheaper. At the heart of the Rebel 1100 is a parallel twin, liquid-cooled engine derived from the same platform used in the Africa Twin adventure bike. That power plant cranks out 86 horsepower and 72 pound-feet of torque from a displacement of 1,084 cubic centimeters. That's more than enough muscle for highway pulls, two-up riding, or carving through twisties with confidence. Unlike many air-cooled V-twins, this motor delivers consistent performance without the heat soak or power drop-off, making it ideal for urban commutes and long hauls alike. But it's not just about raw power. It's the refinement that sets this bike apart. Honda equipped the Rebel 1100 with 3 selectable ride modes: Standard, Sport, and Rain. These modes adjust throttle response, traction control, and engine braking to adapt to different conditions and rider preferences. This kind of tech isn't something you usually find on traditional cruisers, especially not at this price point. Speaking of price, the manufacturer's suggested retail price sits at just $9,599, nearly half of what you'd pay for a comparable Harley-Davidson Lowrider S. And yet, you're not sacrificing build quality or road presence. The Rebel's styling is low-slung and aggressive, with blacked-out finishes and minimalist lines that command attention at every stoplight. When it comes to specs, the bike tips the scales at 487 pounds, making it considerably lighter than most big-bore American cruisers. The suspension setup includes a 43-inch front fork and twin rear shocks with preload adjustability, tuned for both comfort and control. Braking duties are handled by a single front disc with a radial-mounted 4-piston caliper and a rear disc with a single piston setup, both managed by a dual-channel anti-lock braking system. That gives you confidence in all conditions, rain or shine. Ergonomics on the Rebel 1100 strike a perfect balance between laid-back cruising and athletic handling. The mid-mounted foot controls, relaxed handlebar position, and low seat height offer a neutral riding triangle that suits riders of varying heights. The seat is just under 27 inches from the ground, making it accessible to newer or shorter riders while still offering enough space to stretch out on long rides. Another standout feature is the optional dual-clutch transmission, available for those who prefer twist-and-go simplicity without sacrificing performance. It's a rare addition in the cruiser world and makes the Rebel even more attractive to riders who want to focus on the road, not shifting gears. The Rebel 1100 doesn't just try to copy a Harley, it carves out its own lane. With modern features, superior reliability, and performance specs that rival bikes twice the cost, it's proof that you don't need to spend $25,000 to get a cruiser that hits hard and rides smooth. And if you think this Honda is impressive, wait until you see the next Japanese contender. It's a true mile eater with serious long-haul credentials. Number 6. Kawasaki Vulcan 1700 Vaquero. If you are after long-distance comfort, muscular style, and a thundering V-twin experience without paying the premium that comes with a Harley-Davidson touring bike, the Kawasaki Vulcan 1700 Vaquero deserves a serious look. This is not some budget cruiser trying to pass off as a tourer. This is a full-dress, long-haul machine built for riders who want performance, comfort, and swagger, all in one aggressive-looking package. It's the kind of bike that can handle weekend escapes, cross-country marathons, or daily commuting, while turning heads the entire way. At the core of the Vaquero sits a liquid-cooled 4-stroke V-twin engine, displacing 1,700 cubic centimeters. This muscular motor cranks out 76 horsepower and 107 pound-feet of torque, giving you that low-end grunt and deep rumble that cruiser fans live for. Whether you're rolling through mountain highways or overtaking trucks on the interstate, the Vaquero has torque in reserve and a throttle response that feels instant, thanks in part to Kawasaki's refined digital fuel injection system. The delivery is smooth, predictable, and satisfying at any speed. Now, this bike isn't small by any means. It weighs in at 862 pounds wet, but Kawasaki has done an excellent job managing that heft. The bike carries its weight low, and the balanced frame geometry helps you feel in control, even at slow speeds or in tight parking situations. The suspension setup includes a telescopic front fork with nearly 5.5 inches of travel and twin rear air-assisted shocks with 4-way rebound damping. The result? A plush, forgiving ride that soaks up highway imperfections, potholes, and expansion joints without beating up your spine. Whether you're riding solo or two-up with full bags, it stays planted and comfortable. Braking performance is handled by dual front disc brakes with twin piston calipers and a single rear disc, also sporting a twin piston setup. While anti-lock braking system is not included as standard, the system provides ample stopping power for a machine this size. And with a wide 28.7-inch low seat height, floorboards, and generously spaced handlebars, the riding position is all about laid-back control. You're not fighting the bike, you're flowing with it. One standout feature that separates the Vaquero from its peers is the electronically adjustable windshield. That's not something you expect to find on a sub-$20,000 cruiser. With a push of a button, you can dial in your wind protection to suit your height or riding conditions, no tools required. It's a game changer on long rides, especially when paired with the color-matched side cases and sculpted front fairing that define the Vaquero's bold silhouette. Inside the cockpit, the styling is just as dialed in. The analog gauges keep things classic, while a center-mounted digital screen gives you trip data, fuel info, and gear position. The dashboard is pre-wired for audio and GPS, so you can upgrade your touring tech without rewiring the whole bike. And yes, the finish and fitment are rock solid. This doesn't feel like a cut-rate machine. With a starting price of $18,899, the Kawasaki Vulcan 1700 Vaquero offers a compelling alternative to more expensive touring cruisers. You're getting serious V-twin power, standout features, and long-haul comfort without having to remortgage your house. It may not have the bar and shield logo, but it absolutely has the spirit of the open road. For riders who want long-haul performance and undeniable presence, without breaking the bank, this cruiser is one of the smartest alternatives on the road today. The next bike is a classic when talking about Japanese cruisers. We spent hours digging through spec sheets, price lists, and real owner reviews to bring you this list. So if you're finding this helpful, hit that like and subscribe button. Number 5. Yamaha Bolt R-Spec. For riders chasing a stripped-down urban cruiser with serious style and performance without the bloated price tag, the Yamaha Bolt R-Spec checks every box. This machine doesn't try to be flashy. It doesn't overpromise. What it does is deliver a raw, engaging, and confidence-inspiring ride that captures the spirit of a traditional bobber while injecting it with just enough modern tech to keep things smooth and reliable. It's lean, it's mean, and it's ready to roll. Sitting at the heart of the Bolt R-Spec is a punchy, air-cooled V-twin engine displacing 942 cubic centimeters. This torquey twin delivers 65 horsepower and 59 pound-feet of torque, which is more than enough for spirited city riding and open-road fun. The throttle response is crisp, the power band is usable, and the feel is exactly what a cruiser should offer. Grunty down low, steady in the mid-range, and easy to manage. Whether you're weaving through downtown traffic or blasting out of town for a weekend ride, this engine has your back. And because it's air-cooled and built with simplicity in mind, you get performance without complexity. Less to worry about and more time on the road. Beneath that vintage-inspired exterior lies a double-cradle steel frame designed for strength and agility. The low center of gravity makes this bike surprisingly nimble for its class, helping riders feel in control from the first corner to the last. The front suspension features a telescopic fork with 4.7 inches of travel, while the rear is equipped with dual piggyback shocks offering 2.8 inches of travel. That combo strikes a great balance, just enough plushness to keep things comfortable without sacrificing handling precision. It soaks up potholes, ripples, and bumps with ease, whether you're solo or riding with a small amount of gear. Stopping power comes from hydraulic single-disc brakes at both ends, each measuring 298 millimeters. They're responsive, predictable, and more than capable of bringing the 542-pound machine to a controlled stop. No anti-lock braking system is standard, but the feedback and grip inspire confidence, especially when paired with the 19-inch front and 16-inch rear cast alloy wheels. These are wrapped in Bridgestone tires that deliver excellent traction across a range of surfaces, from smooth asphalt to less than perfect back roads. The riding position on the Bolt R-Spec is one of its strongest selling points. With a seat height of 27.2 inches, it's easily approachable for shorter riders while still roomy enough for taller ones. The upright posture, mid-mounted foot controls, and wide handlebar create a natural stance that's easy on the back and shoulders. Whether you're cruising through traffic or logging longer hours on a weekend run, the ergonomics remain relaxed and rider-focused. With a fuel tank capacity of 3.4 gallons, the Bolt R-Spec offers practical range for everyday use, while its compact footprint makes parking and tight maneuvering a breeze. It's not a touring bike, but it was never meant to be. This is a city brawler with weekend potential, and it excels in that role. With its accessible ergonomics and customization potential, the Bolt R-Spec is a versatile motorcycle that caters to both novice riders and seasoned enthusiasts looking for a reliable and stylish urban cruiser. From refined urban style to raw, untamed muscle, let's see what happens when Yamaha dials up the intensity. Number 4. Yamaha VMAX. If there is one motorcycle on this list that throws tradition straight out the window, it is the Yamaha VMAX. This is not your laid-back Sunday cruise kind of machine. This is a full-throttle, hold-on-tight beast that delivers raw performance wrapped in futuristic aggression. Designed for riders who crave torque speed and head-turning style, the VMAX redefines what it means to ride a cruiser. It does not whisper down the road, it growls. At the heart of the VMAX is a liquid-cooled V4 engine with a displacement of 1,679 cubic centimeters. This powerhouse delivers an earth-shaking 170 horsepower and 100 pound-feet of torque. That combination of power and torque is not just high, it is world-class. When you twist the throttle, you are not just accelerating, you are launching. The VMAX uses Yamaha's advanced fuel injection system paired with its proprietary V-Boost technology, which kicks in at higher revolutions per minute to deliver an extra surge of power. Unlike traditional cruisers that focus on low-end grunt, the VMAX pulls hard across the entire rev range. That means thrilling acceleration whether you are cruising through town or blasting down the freeway. It offers a ride that feels smooth and responsive, yet explosive at any moment. The chassis is a lightweight cast aluminum frame that offers both rigidity and balance. Up front, the VMAX features a 52mm telescopic fork with 6 inches of travel, delivering confidence and control even under hard braking. In the rear, a single shock with adjustable rebound and preload offers 4.3 inches of movement, perfect for carving corners or settling into long-distance hauls. Braking comes from dual 320mm front discs paired with 6 piston calipers and a single rear disc at 298mm. This level of stopping power is unheard of in most cruisers, offering precision and safety when you need it most. Whether you are coming in hot or feathering the brakes through traffic, the VMAX responds instantly. As for weight, the VMAX tips the scales at 683 pounds fully fueled. But thanks to its low center of gravity and centralized mass, the bike never feels sluggish. It stays planted during fast turns and tracks straight at high speeds. The ergonomics feature a sculpted rider's seat, mid-mounted controls, and a handlebar position that blends aggression with comfort. Now let's talk styling. The VMAX looks like it was built for a futuristic drag race. Angular lines, muscular stance, matte finishes. It demands attention whether it is parked or on the move. There is no retro chrome or nostalgic nods here. This is what a modern muscle cruiser looks like. Its aggressive silhouette, wide rear tire, and exposed engine components create an aesthetic that is unapologetically bold. With a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $17,999, the VMAX is not a cheap ride, but it is a value-packed powerhouse that outperforms cruisers nearly double its cost. You are not just buying a motorcycle, you are strapping into a rocket. So if you want a cruiser that does not cruise but conquers, this is it. And if you thought the VMAX was wild, wait until you see the next bike on this list. It delivers all the size and attitude of a full dresser without the full price. Number 3. Suzuki Boulevard C50. If you want a full-size cruiser experience without emptying your wallet, the Suzuki Boulevard C50 delivers classic design, modern performance, and everyday reliability in one clean package. This is not a stripped-down beginner bike or a high-strung sport machine pretending to be a cruiser. The C50 is purpose-built to offer that timeless American cruiser feel, but with smoother performance and far easier ownership than many heavyweight bikes on the market. Right from the start, the design hits all the right notes. Deep valanced fenders, flowing lines, chrome accents, and a sculpted fuel tank give the C50 that throwback look that cruiser fans love. It is unmistakably styled to turn heads, but it avoids going over the top. Every curve and surface feels intentional, clean, and refined. Riders who appreciate vintage lines without the hassle of vintage maintenance will immediately feel at home. But here's where things get interesting. Underneath that classic styling is a thoroughly modern machine. Powering the C50 is a liquid-cooled V-twin engine with a displacement of 805 cubic centimeters. It produces 53 horsepower and 53 pound-feet of torque numbers that put it squarely in the mid-weight cruiser class, and more than enough for relaxed highway cruising or spirited backroad riding. This power delivery is smooth and confidence-inspiring thanks to Suzuki's fuel injection system, which offers crisp throttle response without the hesitation you often get on carbureted setups. The real advantage of this engine isn't just the output, though, it's the refinement. The liquid cooling means more consistent performance across a range of temperatures and better longevity overall. Riders who use their bike for commuting or long-distance touring will especially appreciate how cool and steady the bike runs, even in stop-and-go traffic or hot summer afternoons. Suspension duties are handled by a telescopic front fork and a link-type rear shock with 7-way adjustable spring preload. Braking is taken care of by a single front disc and a rear drum brake, a combination that keeps costs down while still providing adequate stopping power for a cruiser in this weight and performance class. The steel frame contributes to stability at speed, and cornering manners are predictable and reassuring even on less than perfect pavement. In terms of usability, the Boulevard C50 checks all the right boxes. The 5-speed transmission shifts cleanly, with gearing optimized for both city riding and open highways. The final drive uses a reliable shaft system, which means lower maintenance than a chain and smoother power delivery overall. Fuel economy is respectable for a mid-size cruiser, and the 4.1-gallon tank ensures you can cover decent ground before needing a refill. With a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $9,299, the Suzuki Boulevard C50 lands well below most Harley-Davidson softail models, but it brings plenty of capability to the table. If you're after classic cruiser looks, a refined ride, and a no-fuss ownership experience, this bike makes a serious case for itself. It is not trying to be the loudest or flashiest cruiser on the road, it just wants to be the one you actually ride. And for a lot of real-world riders, that makes all the difference. Now that we've covered a cruiser that nails the classic look, let's see how Honda redefines the bobber with a blend of style and ease. Number 2. Honda Shadow Phantom. If you love the raw style of a bobber but don't want the weight, heat, or headache of a traditional air-cooled cruiser, the Honda Shadow Phantom delivers everything you want, with the reliability Honda is known for. It's a blacked-out, low-slung cruiser that nails the classic look without being flashy. With stripped-down styling, a tough stance, and a smooth ride, it captures that vintage vibe without any of the old-school drawbacks. This isn't just a beginner's bike, it's a rider's bike, built for people who want to enjoy the road without worrying about overheating engines, leaking gaskets, or rattling parts. Under the tank, the Shadow Phantom runs a 745 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled V twin engine. It produces 45 horsepower and 47 pound-feet of torque, giving it smooth power delivery that's perfect for cruising city streets or rolling through open highways. Unlike traditional air-cooled cruisers, the liquid cooling system keeps temperatures consistent, even in traffic or on hot days. That means better engine life, less performance drop-off, and more confidence on long rides. The 5-speed transmission is buttery smooth, shifting without hesitation, and the shaft drive means virtually zero maintenance. No chains, no belts, just simple, clean power to the rear wheel. Let's get into the numbers. The Shadow Phantom weighs in at 549 pounds, striking a nice balance between low-speed maneuverability and high-speed stability. The seat height is just 25.8 inches, making it incredibly friendly for shorter riders or those who like that low-slung feel. Suspension duties are handled by a 41mm front fork and dual rear shocks, tuned for comfort rather than stiffness. Braking comes from a 296mm single front disc and a rear drum brake. Not flashy, but more than enough stopping power for this class of bike. It holds 3.9 gallons of fuel and averages over 55 miles per gallon, giving you solid range for both city rides and weekend trips. Ergonomics on the Shadow Phantom are a standout. The mid-mounted controls and wide handlebars create a neutral, comfortable riding position that doesn't fatigue your wrist or back. The low center of gravity means handling is intuitive. Even if you've never ridden a cruiser before, this bike inspires immediate confidence. And thanks to the compact dimensions, it's easy to park, lane split, or maneuver through crowded lots. Styling-wise, the Shadow Phantom leans hard into the blacked-out look. From the engine covers to the exhaust pipes to the tank and fenders, everything is drenched in matte or gloss black finishes. It's the kind of look that never goes out of style. Minimalist, clean, and undeniably cool. There's no chrome clutter or unnecessary trim, just a stripped-down machine that gets the job done and looks good doing it. With a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $8,399, the Shadow Phantom significantly undercuts bikes like the Harley-Davidson Iron 883 while offering similar styling, better reliability, and less required maintenance. If you're looking for a cruiser that's easy to own, easy to ride, and easy on the eyes, the Shadow Phantom should be high on your list. It's the kind of bike that earns respect not with noise or price tags, but with how it performs ride after ride. For anyone chasing that timeless cruiser feeling without the drama, this Honda proves you don't need to compromise to ride in style. If the Shadow Phantom's sleek design impressed you, get ready. This next contender takes custom cruiser style to a whole new level. Number 1. Kawasaki Vulcan 900 Custom. Designed for riders who want a long, low stance with sleek lines and aggressive appeal, this cruiser does more than just look good parked. It backs it up with smooth power delivery, solid engineering, and the kind of riding comfort that makes all-day trips feel easy. While Harley-Davidson Softail models often push north of $20,000, the Vulcan 900 Custom offers similar style and road presence at a much more accessible price point. At the heart of the Vulcan is a 900 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled VE twin engine. It pumps out 50 horsepower and 58 pound-feet of torque, providing plenty of grunt for passing traffic, riding two-up, or just soaking in the highway. The engine's fuel injection system ensures crisp throttle response without the flat spots or hesitation found in some older carbureted cruisers. Power flows through a 5-speed transmission and reaches the rear wheel via a belt drive. Quiet, smooth, and low maintenance. Whether you're rolling through town or chasing the horizon, the engine always feels ready to deliver. On the spec sheet, the Vulcan 900 Custom weighs in at 610 pounds, and it rides low with a seat height of 27 inches. That makes it friendly for a wide range of riders, especially those who want to flat-footed at a stoplight. Suspension comes from a 41mm telescopic front fork and a hidden preload adjustable rear monoshock that keeps the ride smooth without sacrificing that slammed cruiser profile. Up front, there's a 300mm disc brake with a twin-piston caliper, and the rear sports a 270mm disc, both offering dependable progressive braking performance. Where the Vulcan really stands apart is its styling. You get a 21-inch front wheel, a chopped rear fender, and a fat rear tire that gives the bike serious presence. The raked-out front end leans into the custom look without going overboard, and the slash-cut exhaust add just enough attitude without waking the neighbors. From its sculpted tank to its minimalist fenders, everything about the Vulcan Custom screams cool, clean, and capable. Ergonomically, the bike delivers a laid-back ride thanks to forward-mounted foot controls and drag-style handlebars. This combo puts you in a relaxed but commanding position that's perfect for longer hauls. The tank holds 5.3 gallons, so you can cover decent distances before needing a fuel stop, and with an average fuel economy near 50 miles per gallon, it won't hurt your wallet either. With a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $9,899, the Vulcan 900 Custom comes in at nearly half the price of many Harley-Davidson softail models. And while some riders might still lean toward American Iron for the name alone, those who actually ride and maintain their bikes know that Kawasaki's build quality is second to none. For anyone searching for a cruiser that offers style, comfort, and dependable performance without the inflated price tag, the Vulcan 900 Custom checks every box. It delivers all the looks and road presence of a much more expensive bike while keeping your maintenance simple and your ride smooth. That's the list. 7 Japanese cruisers that ride like legends without the Harley price tag. Got a favorite? Drop it in the comments, and if this helped you find your next ride, make sure to subscribe for more deep dive motorcycle breakdowns.